What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Inner Sanctum YouTube channel. I'm Anthony Alessiani, and today we're going to be presenting the top 5 moments of Daniel Ricciardo's F1 career. Now, he's going to be finishing up with McLaren this weekend in Abu Dhabi for his last race with McLaren. Now, it's not the end of his career for Formula One. He'll be taking a break in 2023, whether or not he does come back in 2024. And his future plans in general are a big question mark at the moment. But I thought, whilst it is the end of an era at McLaren, a short one albeit, but it has been a great 10-year career in Formula One to date. So let's take a look back over the years and see what his top 5 moments are, presented by the Inner Sanctum. We have to take it back to 2014, his first year at Red Bull. It was Canada. It was a hot day at the Montreal circuit, and there was retirements left, right and centre, and a battle for the lead that was with 7 drivers by the looks of it in the end. We had a Lewis Hamilton retirement due to brakes. We had a Nico Rosberg in Mercedes trying to coach his car to the end with the similar brake issue. And Ricciardo pounced on an opportunity that was never before taken by him, and that was a win in Formula One. He passed Sergio Perez with a few laps to go. And two laps later, with 2 laps left in the Grand Prix, of a hectic one, albeit, he took across the line the victory and also passed Nico Rosberg, as I said, 2 laps to go before the end of the race. And it was an absolutely sensational drive by him. He took an opportunity that was very, very small chance that looking into the build-up and looking back into the history of the race, Red Bull no chance. He had Sebastian Vettel, his teammate, finish third. And the podium celebration, it was a monumental occasion for Daniel, and he seized the moment for his first win. So that comes in at number 5. And if that's going to be number 5, I'm sure there's going to be plenty more moments in this list that are very much so entertaining. We come in at number 4. Now, I did mention that his win in Red Bull was with a struggling car. And yes, he was a fantastic driver, and he had so much talent, and he seized any opportunity he got to take advantage of. When he went to Renault in 2019, there was a promise to the team that he would get a podium, that he wanted to make the most of the opportunity and try and take the team to the top. Didn't quite eventuate. Didn't quite get the podium in 2019. 2020 came along. We saw COVID. We had to race in parts of the world we haven't raced in a long time for, and come to the Nürburgring in Germany. And Daniel Ricciardo finished third for his first podium at Renault. It was a monumental occasion because in a car that was so not slow, but he managed to take so much more potential out of the car than it probably promised, and to take it to third in a race where the Ferraris were battling, Mercedes were dominant, Red Bull were quite quick that weekend as well, and for him to get his first podium in a mid-table car, I think showcases how much of a talented driver he was. I take it to Azerbaijan 2017. This was a race that was destined to be Hamilton versus Vettel, and it was carnage. There was road rage from Vettel. There was damage to Hamilton's car. Headrests were flying off his car as well. There was safety cars galore. You didn't know where to look on track because it was always an action-packed part of the circuit. And with Daniel Ricciardo, he started 10th. He had a small problem. He pitted very early in the race. He ended up being 17th and battled his way through the field. Once we got to the safety car, that was around lap 26, he seized the moment. The safety car came in. It was Hamilton versus Vettel. Vettel was under investigation for his run-in with Hamilton. Hamilton had to pit due to his headrest. Those two were pretty much out of contention for the race, and Daniel Ricciardo seized the opportunity. First lap after the safety car, first turn, he went down the inside, taking over 3 cars, making a pass, and it was one of the most epic overtakes of his career, to overtake 3 cars into one corner, put him into third place, which eventually put him into first, and there was no looking back. He finished on the podium. It was a crazy race, won the race, and alongside him was Lance Stroll in third with his first ever podium, and Valtteri Bottas, who came second after being a lap down and damage on his car. So you can go by that podium. That was an absolutely hectic race. One that I definitely recommend looking back and watching over again. But Daniel Ricciardo seized an opportunity again when it looked slim. But when stuff starts to happen, action starts to happen in the race, Daniel Ricciardo is always there to take the opportunity if there is even a sniff of a chance for a victory. And he did that in 2017 at the Baku Grand Prix. 2018, Monaco. We all remember it. If you're an F1 fan, it is entrenched in our memories as the pinnacle of Daniel Ricciardo's wins in terms of he won Monaco with a car that was running on basically 50% power. It was down. He had the coast at home for like 30 laps. He had Sebastian Vettel pulsating behind him, trying to get any opportunity he could to pass. And after the heartbreak of 2016, where Daniel got it on pole, they stuffed up his pit stops, and it just became a carnage race in 2016, and he missed an opportunity, couldn't win the race. The team let him down. It became Redemption Day in 2018, winning the Monaco Grand Prix, which would be his last win for quite a while into 2021, which I'll speak about in a moment because that is number one, because it has to be. But yeah, 2018, it was his finest hour in his Formula 1 career at Red Bull, his last win at Red Bull as well. And out of his 7 wins at when racing at Red Bull, it was probably his finest moment. It probably wasn't his most entertaining race. He definitely had to challenge himself and put more of a defensive masterclass than an attacking one, which he normally does in every other race. But I think that showcased Daniel as a driver that was more than just a freak on the overtake. He was definitely someone that could defend anything and never give up, and that's what Daniel did in 2018 at the Monaco Grand Prix. Honourable mentions before I get into Daniel Ricciardo's number one moment of his F1 career. I will mention the Chinese Grand Prix in 2018, where he basically overtook 6 cars in the last 20-odd laps with his fantastic overtake on Bottas down the inside. I think a few of you would remember that one. That was a fantastic race. Got to remember all the shoeies that he's done. It was basically an entertainment package when he got on the podium, because we'd celebrate the drivers and their performances, but then also each and every one would do a Daniel Ricciardo shoey when he got on there. I thought that was definitely recommended. And also 2016, the Malaysian Grand Prix, where Hamilton retired from the race. Rosberg was coming from the back of the grid after damaging his car on turn 1. The overtake on Verstappen just before the safety car was called was the difference, and that's what got him in front. And to win that race was a win that he hasn't had for 2 years, and I think that's a very much an honourable mention. Out of his 8 wins and the countless overtakes that he's had and countless podiums that I think that he's definitely grabbed with both hands and the opportunity he's taken, it's a full nod of the hat performance in the rest of his career. But it didn't make the top 5, it didn't make number 1, and number 1 is simply Daniel Ricciardo's victory at Monza in 2021. Probably one of the best races I've watched in terms of entertainment. We've seen the carnage and the drama with Verstappen and Hamilton. We saw the fantastic qualifying session with McLaren in the sprint race as well. Daniel Ricciardo getting into 3rd and having an opportunity to try and win the race. And going into turn 1, he overtook Verstappen, created the opportunity to lead the race. He did not fail. It was a perfect performance. It was a clinical performance at Monza. The pressure of having Lando Norris, his teammate, behind, and Leclerc, Bottas, Perez all charging through the field. He kept his pace. He managed his pace, but also knew exactly when to pick it up. And it was a masterclass, a fine wine performance from Daniel Ricciardo. First win in 3 years. His first win at McLaren. First 1-2 for McLaren in such a long time. It was the only 1-2 of the season in 2021. It was for McLaren's first win in 10 years. That just showcases why he's such a pinnacle driver and deserves an opportunity again in the future. I'm not here to make a case about Daniel Ricciardo. I'm just here to celebrate his fantastic achievements in the 10 years of Formula 1, one of Australia's finest motorsport performances. And it's fantastic to celebrate these moments, but also I really look forward to see what he brings in his future plans in motorsport. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the Inner Sanctum YouTube channel for plenty more sport videos to come your way, and check out the Inner Sanctum website for plenty more articles across motorsport. We're talking everything in Australia. It's the pinnacle of Australian journalism. My name's Anthony, and thank you very much for watching.